Hey. As always, we check whether it's all going good. Channel. All right. I think it's a bit weird though because I can't hear my music. I think it's being streamed, but I can't hear it, which is a bit unfortunate. And here I can see it has 2 audio sources, so that's also a bit weird. I'm thinking this is muted. Yeah, this is muted. Yeah, I can just stream without music, but it's a bit unfortunate. Well, let's see. Yeah, this is the right one. But otherwise you can't hear anything, I think. Yeah, now I can hear it, but you can't hear it. And now I can hear it. That's okay. As long as you can hear it and you can still hear my voice, so that's good. Hello everyone. Okay, so yeah, today I will be continuing on what I did from last time, and I will be continuing to work on the Pulumi Schema Explorer that I did yesterday and continue from where we left it off. So yesterday we started working on this thing, which is a nice UI for Pulumi schemas, where you can explore them and see which resources, which functions they have. Let me run that again to see how the UI looks like. We made a little bit of a user interface for it, one that shows the local plugins that you have on your machine, and another that loads the schema based on a name and a version. So once it loads, we show all the resources in a list like this, which isn't ideal, but that's what we got so far, so we will roll with that. And we have a bit of routing going on here, matching current URL. On the home page we show the local plugins, and once we have a name and a version in the URL, we show the schema explorer. So it's running now. Let me go ahead and see it yet. So these are the local plugins, and you can see I have 2 AWS plugins of different versions. You can click on them and we'll load the schema, and we get a whole bunch of resources. And well, these are just the resources. There's a whole bunch of them, and I realized there isn't really a nice way to show these. There isn't really a nice way to show these here. Not in a vertical way anyways, not like this. So I'm thinking of adding something that allows you to go through these, click on them, and actually show information about the resource or function, which I will get into, because these are only the resources in a schema. We can also load functions and see some information about it. Yeah, it's still a bit weird that I don't hear music. If you hear music, let me know, so that at least I know it's okay for you. But other than that, I think it's just fine. Okay, so yeah, this is the UI so far. We have, like I said, a bit of navigation here. What I want to change is having to go back and forth between this schema and this schema. So basically I want to keep this on the side and have the schema information loaded here in a nice way, that is. So I'll give that a try now. Okay, let's see. Because right now I have the routing working on the whole page. So basically I want the local plugins to always be loaded and the Schema Explorer to be loaded next to it. And this one will depend on the current URL, basically. Okay, I think we can do that by making a div with a sidebar, basically. Before we do that, actually, what I did want to do first is this. So last time, we were able to get Pulumi Schema information by referencing this project, the Pulumi Schema project on the backend, and referencing the Pulumi types in the shared project to make them available for data transport from client to server, because the types are Fable compatible. There's nothing weird about them. It doesn't make them Fable compatible. And the types are used in the shared protocol when we get schema by plugin. So here we're using this type, which is defined in a local project. Now I can imagine why this is not ideal if you want to clone this repository and work with it. So what I did is I published the types library and the schema library as separate packages. So I can reference them from here so that this repository is standalone and can work on its own. So with that, I'll just go to source, cd, shared, and .NET add package, Pulumi schema types. It cannot be found for some reason. Or is it? Pulumi is compatible. Okay. That is a bit weird because I do know that I'm pretty sure I published those. So NuGet Pulumi schema types. Yeah, there it is. It's as version 1. So you know what? I'll just download it like this. Let's see if we can restore. Yeah, we can restore. Can we build? Yeah, we can build this thing. That's nice. So it's using the types here. Next up is the server. I will do something similar. Instead of referencing the local project, we will reference the package itself, which is called Pulumi Schema. Pulumi Schema. Let's see if it's published here. Pulumi Schema. Yeah, there it is, and it has a dependency on Pulumi schema types, so we don't have to reference that either. So with that, I think I should go to server.net build, see if everything still works. Well, at least builds. Okay, now I'm sure it builds. I can go back and start the app and see if anything has happened, because there was a gotcha here, which is that Pulumi schema types had to include the Fable sources and files to make it the F# sources and files to make it F# Fable compatible. If we go here, we'll see that Pulumi schema types has this thing here, which is what you need to make the library Fable compatible. We need to actually put the sources, in this case the project file and the types file, inside a folder called Fable in the NuGet package before we publish it. So that makes it Fable compatible. I see I haven't really committed that, so let's publish NuGet packages for Pulumi schema types and Pulumi schema. There we go, that's good. Which means you too can use these libraries if you want. like I am from here. Okay, let's see if it works. Refresh. Yep, still works. Internal error, that's not good. Error occurred while running this function. But why? That is unfortunate. Do we have anything here? We don't log. Let's give that another try. Yeah, still doesn't work. Okay, let's make a proper error handler. So from value, with error handler, it takes an error handler I think it takes a heart of a context. It's just the exception. Yeah, it just takes the error handler of A and returns something like ignore, right? Route info, something like that. Yeah. So this is the exception, just going to print fn it. This one when I don't even remember my own API. Sure. Okay, we get the same error. And now we will see that it could not load F#7. Hey, does it need F#7? I don't think so. Oh, yeah. Well, that's unnecessary. Okay, I can fix that later then. I'll fix that later. That's unfortunate. I just need to make them explicitly require a lower version of F# core. So for the time being, yep, it will just work, I think. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so far so good. Back to the front end. So yeah, here is where I wanted to have a sidebar. Sidebar here for the schema, for the schemas, and then another one here for the whole view. So for that, I think I need to make 2 divs. So here, before we have any router, we have an HTML div, which will be the container. It will be prop style, oh, something like that. It's a flex direction, a flex box, and then prop children. Display flex direction. I basically want to have flex box with 2 rows. Yeah, let's cheat a bit. Flex box to, well, 2 columns. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. We have a row and a column. I don't want to use width and left, to be honest. Oh, that's easier. So the row will be the container. So that's just display flex. Children will be HTML. The first div and the second div. This one will be not margin but flex. Flex grow. I think flex is we have a flex and then anything else doesn't really matter. Okay. I guess I'll try custom. I don't know why we don't have flex, but I think it could be flex grow. So it's flex 50%. That's the first one. And it's going to be actually local plugins with local plugins. It's somehow new about that. Maybe it's listening to me right now. And the other one is I'm just gonna test it. HTML H1 Schema Explorer. Disable the router for now. Let's see how it looks like. It did not like this for some reason. Not find a module. We restarted. I think it got tripped up by the fact that I changed the reference in shared without restarting the server. Once you change packages, you have to restart. That is not exactly what I wanted. The Schema Explorer is all the way there. Not what I index. It is using font awesome, that's good. It's using Bulma. Is Bulma the one that is messing this up? Bulma was doing just great. I think it's just used a bit of this, so let me see. Index. Styling is definitely not my forte here. Children. It's 50 by 50, okay, that's reasonable. So here I'll just give it 20% by 80%. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. So here you would select a schema and here you would see it. These are the local plugins and this is the Explorer. Okay, so far so good. So basically I want to show the local plugins on this side. That's good. And on the side we have Schema Explorer. Okay. So what I want to do is be able to select a plugin and show the Explorer here. So Explorer will be here, but it's no longer dependent on the route per se. So we would have to do something else basically. Loading schema. Now what? Oh, I think there's no plugin of this version, so I'm just gonna do this. Yeah, so something like that basically. So what I want is that if you click on this one, this shows here. I could still do it using the router, putting the router on this side. That would be the easiest way, to be honest. So if we put the router here as a simple way to pass events from component to component, what I wanted to do first is have an on selected plugin callback here, and once you've selected a plugin, it will show the Schema Explorer, but that's fine. So here the children is not gonna show anything other than this. Please select a plugin from the left. Yeah, something like that. Let's make those somewhat more pleasing. Okay, Schema Explorer is please select plugin from the left. You select it, it changes here, and you can see it here. There you go. Nice. That's very nice. Please select a plugin. Schema Explorer is not really needed. Unless you're here, please select a plugin like this one. Okay. But like I said, these things here are not really usable, and you can't easily look through resources. I mean, yeah, you could click here, but that's not really helpful, I think. Another thing that is not really useful is that we only show the ones you have locally and not the ones that you can browse globally, which is a bit annoying. But I think we can work around that by asking GitHub what packages, what Pulumi packages there are. So we will see if we can fix that. But first I want to fix this view. And to do that, I want to use actually a dropdown. Now that won't be very clear why a dropdown at first, but I think if you have a dropdown that is searchable, you could basically search for a resource or a function and you click on it, and down here you will see information about it. So that's kind of the idea. First of all, this H1 is not really helpful. If Bulma has title or just title. header? No. Yeah, it does have title, but only the sizes. These are React properties. How do you have a Bulma title? Unless I actually, well, text. No constructors available for. Nope, that's not it. Okay. HTML H1, Pulumi Schema Explorer, style, font size 24, something like that. Yeah, something like that. Loading the schema, clicking it. Perfect. So far so good. Okay, and now what I want to use is actually Felice. No, not this. GitHub. Felice. One of the libraries we have here is, let's see, components, select search. So this is the one I want because you'll be able to select here. Searchable dropdown. This is what I want. This is what I want. Basically, I want to show all the possible things in here, and you click on it, and once you click on it, it shows even more things. So I think we can do that. First, we need to install this. It says here femto install Felice select search, so that's exactly what I'm gonna do. cd source client .NET femto install Felice select search. Will actually use packets, that's nice. Within dependency group main. Hey, it shouldn't be dependency group main, should it? In the client. Or it doesn't matter. Well, it doesn't matter, we don't have any dependency groups. Sounds good. There should be dependency groups. So it did the right thing. It installed all the things that it needs to install. So now we can use it, I think. So here from the Schema Explorer, plugin Schema Explorer, we will put these resources into a dropdown. So let's look at the API. It's select search, placeholder on change. Yeah, we have name and a value. Okay. None of these are disabled, no value selected. Okay, sounds good. So for these resources, let's make a dropdown. Okay, we said that already. We open Felice select search. What is it called? Select search. Okay, this is the initial constructor. Let's see, select search, not options. Select search placeholder. Find resources or functions in name and version, basically, right? that's the placeholder. Select search. On change, something will happen. On change, you will have the selected token and we will console print it. Token selected. Token, so that's on change, and then finally the actual options. Select search options is very close. We said the value would be the token, the label, or the name. Okay, the name is the resource name from that token. For resource in from that token and disabled is always false. Okay, so that's our select search. Let's hope this works. Missed out on one of those, I think. No? This is a select search, this is a UI. Okay, one too many. I don't get what the problem is here. Formatting problem now. These are the children, this is the div. This children. Yeah, it should be fine. What is it complaining of here? I don't get it. Prop div, prop children. Oh. Router is just a React element. Okay, this has gotta be like a weird UI thing, no? Oh, that's because it's using the wrong version of select search. I used latest version, which depends on the new on the new Felice, which is not good. So Felice select search. It should be 1.8. Yes, that's the one I need. 1.8. Please select search. And then packet install. Let's try that again on the client.net build. It's still not good. Why does it think that Felice should be latest? Yeah, it was using latest Felice for some reason. Hi there. How are you doing? Okay, there it is. It's working. So back to the app.net run. And it should be working here. There we go. So let's see, how does that turn out? It is not working. What's wrong? Did it by any chance install latest React? No, it is on 17. That should be good. Invalid hook call. Let's see. Nope, should be just fine. CD client, not Femto. Okay, these look good. Just to be sure, let me delete the output. These router, please select search. Yeah, something is weird going on here when I try to use packet references. Fail React promoting client. Let's try that again. Yeah, it's the same thing.
But then, well,
it is the very same things. Let's see, output, index.
But I don't really know what I'm doing. Anywho,
This one looks good.
well, I guess we'll see you around.
Also looks good.
Have a wonderful
Yeah, I don't get why this would be a bad pattern here. URL segments. Kind of annoying to be honest. Use state, React component. Happened from here. And then from here. Yeah, that's really weird. What I can do is I can upgrade the dependencies to Fable 4 and remove all Fable 3 weirdness. So I'll need Fable remoting client. I'll need latest release. Let's see, use deferred is v2, router is v4, release itself is 2.3, and finally is select search S2. Okay, don't need to import. We will need table 4. So that is 4.4.18. That was the last one. .NET tool restore. Yep, it's available. I think .NET tool update femto 0.16, that's good too. Clear. What else? What else? .NET restore this thing. Shared requires this Fable core. Why does shared require? Yeah, this is really annoying. Need to do all these things before I even be able to build. Okay, still doesn't work, but does it build? It does, and it means that I can also change this API, so it is the new Feliz API, which is React create root and render the root. Do that. It's Elmish app. Index view. There we go. Finally, just update the dependencies. .NET femto install. .NET femto resolve. are they now? Because we need to update React as well. Yeah, React needs to be, so npm update React, is that a thing? Uninstall React and npm install React at 18.x. Same with React DOM. Yeah, these are not really fun right now like this. Let's see. React DOM is now 18. Okay. .NET Run. Let's see if this works. Updating the project to Fable 4 in React 18. Okay, looks good. Now it works again. Wow, that took a while. So I choose this, loading schema information, and I actually get my select search. Hey, there we go. That is much nicer. Way nicer. Choose an analyzer, and I hope that if I look at my console, I see that token selected AWS Access Analyzer. Thank you, back on track. Certificates. All of these are resources. Could probably do one for functions too. So let me do that. So here I've done a select search for resources and another one for functions. Why is it inside a UL? Shouldn't be. Func in functions, token and resource name. But it's not really a resource name, it's token name, really member name. Member name out of a token, and we can use it here. And resources. Functions. Okay, so one for functions, one for resources. Loading schema information. Resources. All the functions here. Awesome. Certificate, get load balancer. probably you would want the module name as well. So from which module they are. Because if we look at the type token here, now we're actually doing something good. So if we look at the type token selected, we will see, for example, AWS is the package, and then we have the module, and then we have get certificate. And for the functions as well, we have a package, and then ALB, application load balancer, I think, and then get load balancer. So here we can actually see that we have also a bunch of modules that we can filter by. So it would be also nice to select a module and see all the resources in that module. So let me do that. So HTML, the modules. Modules is gonna be find modules. Let private find modules from a schema. Open the types. So all modules that module name is token. It's not the last, it's actually the second. So split the token. Array tip 1 and take the first. I guess that's it. Okay. So the modules will be all the functions and the resources. So for each resource, module name and func name, and then all modules distinct. Nice. Let me inline this. So we have a schema. We can also have a selected module. So let's see. Selected module is React use state. It's a string option of none. So that once we are iterating over the things in here, in the once we're iterating module name, member name, module inline, we filter by it. So the member name, modules will be for each. Find modules from the schema. Mod name disabled. Okay. We still don't have it selected. So once you select a mod name, we set the selected module and set selected module. Token, and here we will filter by them in a bit. But for now, let's see how this looks like. So we have the modules, resources, and functions. Yeah, these are all the modules. Unfortunately, all these abbreviated names don't give you much insight. Find module. So if I select one, okay, that's weird. I click on the, I need to click on the text. That is a bit weird. Maybe because I need to have a default value set here. Select search. Yeah, the current value is default arg. Okay. Yeah, that's weird. Or is it because these are constantly being re-rendered? Let's selected resources. Let's see. Modules is React. Use memo. Function find modules of the schema, and it depends on the schema. Match schema with deferred resolved and find the modules. Anything else is empty. So basically we make these computed based on the schema and only recompute them. And only recompute them when we have something. So and basically those. Yeah, that looks good. Just pick. Nope, still the same issue. It's kind of weird. Oh, is it because I did the selected module here? Okay. Yeah, now it works. Which looks great. I think I need also an all module which resets this, or is there a resettable way? Okay, let's make this even nicer. So it's working now, and I don't think it's because I used the memo. I think it's because I didn't have a default value. It's the same thing here. There has to be a selected resource, basically. So I'll take those back. Remove the modules. Let's hope it works. Okay, modules. Yeah, it works. That's nice. Now I need to make the resources be dependent on the module. Okay. So we also have let selected resource and set selected resource. It's not a string option, it's a resource option. Even though we have it here. Let's add a little break between the two, make it nicer. Yeah, something like that. These are the modules, resources and things like that. Okay, so if we have selected token, on change set selected resource will be some, yeah, exactly this. I have a feeling I also don't need this. I don't know why it wasn't working before. Yeah, because they were being re-rendered. And here the same thing. Once you select, the state is being re-rendered, so they do need a default value. So let me get the default value back. Not the default arg, so default value is selected resource option map on resource. You map it to resource.token, and from the token we can option map member name and option default value empty. That again is not working. Yeah, the re-rendering is not very helpful here. I did change the value though. I think these values need to be memoized so that they're not recomputed on each re-render. Yeah, that is a bit annoying. Yeah, this one has only the index module. This one works. and there are no functions. So we also need to see whether there are functions or not here. Okay, let's memoize those things. So module options is React. Finding the modules based on a schema. I don't think so. Find the modules is match schema with defer, resolve, okay schema. Then from these we basically yeah, these are the modules. Excuse me. These are the memoized modules, or at least how to get them. So let's say modules is React use memo modules and schema. Yeah, so modules only depends on the schema. If the schema changes, the modules are recomputed, and that's the only time they're recomputed. As for resources, also something very similar. Oh, it even filtered it, so that's great. That's exactly what I want, except that I also want oh, it is a sequence. Okay, so these are the resources. Again, I want them in line so that it doesn't do any weirdness. And resources use memo, it depends on both the selected module and the schema. And they are select options. So they're good here. Let's see how that works. Refresh. Index. Nope, that is not working. Like I hope. Yeah, this one is working fine. This one is not. Why is that? Let's see how this looks like. Yeah, memo looks fine, resources looks fine. And that is a bit unfortunate. Okay, let me try to not do anything with the selected one, even though that should be fine. Like cleared the second time. Let me instead just print fn token selected. Yeah, now it works just fine. What about here? Yeah, once you've done this, then this doesn't work anymore. Or maybe it should work like that. So account. No, it is working fine now, because if you change the module, it changes which resources you're looking at, which is great, which is what I want. Yeah, functions are not filtered either, so let me fix that. Again, filter by name. Let's make this inline. Use memo functions also depends on the selected module. Give it the functions. The functions and resources don't change. Okay. Let me refresh that. Yeah, this is working fine. Once you change the module, you can't see the rest. Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, again, it's a bit weird that the IEM account aliases get role. Okay, so it's working fine, except that when I do a selected resource, let's do that again. On change, set selected module, on change, set selected resource, schema resources. So is this the thing that is tripping up? Yep, it's the thing that is kind of works, but not really. Yeah, I don't know why, to be honest. Use state with updater, how about that? Selecting token. Okay, select it. It is doing something. It is doing something. Yeah, the next time I select it, the placeholder suddenly comes back. Yep, that is kind of annoying. And here it doesn't work because I do have the value. Okay, let me add a value as also again an inferred selected. Let selected resource name is React, use memo. Selected resource. Something like that. And there we go. Selected resource name is just a string, so that's gonna be select search value, gonna be the selected resource name. Let's see if that works. Now it's definitely not working unless I somehow click. The modules, the resources, and functions. Nope, still doesn't work. It's a bit annoying, to be honest, how this how it gets re-rendered, but the options are not the same. Because once you set the selected resource, it triggers a re-render, which is fine. And the things that depend on the selected resource is just, yeah, these things. All of these things are memoized at that point. Selecting the module doesn't seem to cause an issue, only when we have a resource. Okay, let's see what other options we have. Select search dot. We can debounce, we can get options. Multiple on blur, on change. Yeah, we already have on change. Print options. Property controls one should be rendered. On focus. This is what it means. Oh, maybe it's because the value is not the name of the resource. The value should be selected resource. Value should just be its token. That's why it works for the modules, but not for the resources. Selected resource value. There we go. I think this should work. Okay, let me remove the print options. Yeah, this one works because the name of the module is always the same as the value. Yes, now it works. Yep. So that was a bit annoying, but now I get why. It's not that I'm crazy or anything. It actually wasn't working because the value should be the same value as the value from the selected resource and not the name of the resource. I was thinking in terms of the rendered name, but that's not the case. So resources, functions, I think the same for functions. Selected function name. So we have a selected module. Let's see. Now let's selected module. I mean selected function. Set selected function. This does not need to be an updater. Where is it? Yeah, it definitely does not. Or could be, we'll find out. So selected function is use state of a function option of none. Selected resource value, selected function value. There we go. Yes, I change this. Amp. Functions in name and version. Resources. Name version and modules in name and version. Okay. Don't need to reduce that here. Find modules. You can find the resources of that module, and you can find functions, which is not working for some reason because we do not change the selected function. Set selected function. Exactly this. There we go. Nice. So yeah, that is it. Index, let me just change a bit more of the layout. Let's make it 10 by 90. How does that look on a smaller screen? Well, not the best, but it's alright. I'll just go back to 20. Fine. Oh, find function still doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? Selected function value. Selected resource value, functions. Oh, maybe because it didn't have any functions. No, here it does. Yeah, this works. Yeah, in the index module, it does not. Let's add a special type of prepend. Let's add a special type of module that's called all. Disabled false. Do it like this. Yield this thing, then for maybe I don't need yield. Yeah, there we go. So we have all and the rest of the modules. So here when all is true, same here. So we special case the all module so if we're looking at access analyzer, we only see the analyzer resources, but if we're back to all, then we should be able to see all of the resources. Okay, that's good. That's more like it. So we're still on the exploring side. 1 second here, because I see all the way on the back, not very useful here. So let me add it here. Style padding 20. Better. Needs more padding left. Padding right. 30. Yeah, something like that. That's better. So we filter by module. You can select it. You can also select all. And that's that. So next thing is to add some data here, which is to add some data here, which is to show actual things about the resources. So when you click on a resource or a function, you will see actual data here underneath about it. Okay, that was a lot. And I think too much time on getting things working again. That wasn't the funnest part, but then when things got working and I was actually able to show these select searches, that was kind of nice. I just needed to keep in mind that the value is always the same when I do a selected value, always the same as the value from the select option, and not like weirdo select option, and not like the value or the name that is shown on the select bar. All right, I think that's pretty good progress. Yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to make sure that these references are no longer project references, but actually package references, as well as on the shared project, and commit those changes, and hopefully come back later to this project after I've done something more after a while, because I won't be able to stream in a bit, but that's okay. So yeah, the next step is to be able to see more information about the selected resource or selected function inside of here. I will have to be able to know what was the last thing that was selected, whether it's the get certificate, whether it was the selected resource or selected policy. So I'll need to figure that out. It's also unfortunate that the value doesn't take an optional. Like a value takes always a string. And it starts with empty, so it should be fine if I go back to empty. Okay. Yeah, for now I think I will call it a day. That was a good run. I'm happy with these 3 drop downs. It makes things more easier to find. One last thing maybe is that to make them searchable. So if I have resources, select search true, which I think makes it searchable. Yes, analyzer, there we go. Analyzer or rule, everything that has to do with a rule. Of course, if I put all the modules, rule, there we go. That's much nicer way to search. So let me do that again for the functions and the modules. And that's easy access to these. I could also do the same thing with the local plugins, because local plugins could be also a drop down with these things. And then if you don't have a local plugin, we can also like take a name and a version and load these in. So that will be fun, but that again, that's for later. I'll see how that goes. For now, I'll call it a day. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.